Hi guys, Fuzz here and welcome back to Final Fantasy IX once again. So today we are going to be taking on our first of two remaining optional bosses. This is the easier of the two, although if you do not prepare it is still a complete pain in the backside, so make sure you are fully ready for the challenge that lies ahead. We are going to be unlocking a new synthesis of all things where we can craft some of the best endgame gear. So I do recommend that you go ahead and fight this boss. Make sure you begin at this save point that I'm at here in Memoria, since the boss is in the very next room, so it gives you the best chance to save. And as far as equipment goes, you're going to want to absorb or nullify the shadow element. It's very important that you do that because the boss that we're about to kill unleashes Doomsday, which will basically do maximum damage, 999 damage to your party, as well as heal the boss for the same amount. So we do need to nullify that. The party that I'm going with is Zidane, Freya, Quina and Aiko. At this stage in the game, Aiko is just a generally better all-round healer than Dagger, so if you have been neglecting to use her, then you're probably going to want to spend some time just levelling her abilities and her actual level and stats up. The main reason for that is that she has the awesome Holy ability, which is basically better than any of the summons because it does massive amounts of damage while using a shorter cast time. And Quina is just generally useful because of the Fog Drop ability, but also because of Angel Snack, which casts Remedy on every party member, so make sure you have a good stock of them. But it's very important because this boss inflicts an ability known as Falling Sword, I think it is, but we'll see it when we encounter it, which does a load of status encounters that cannot be blocked easily. Although some status encounters that can be blocked we should equip for, and I'll just show you which ones I have prepared in advance. Bright Eyes, Antibody to avoid poison, and Clear-Headed because confusion's a little bit on the nasty side, so we do want to stop, protect against those on characters that could do so. Other than that, you're going to want to make sure that Zidane has his Bandit and his Master Thief abilities equipped. Devil Killer is also useful. This guy is a demon. And then you want to stick your remaining abilities into your autos, especially auto regen, auto haste, hit points, auto life, etc, etc. Always useful, and the same goes for the other characters as well. So the general strategy is going to be Quina is going to be on Big Guard, or sorry, Mighty Guard duty. Auto life is also useful, and Zidane is going to begin by throwing up steals to try and get the items that this boss has, which are the Reflect Ring, the Running Shoes, the Battle Boots, and the Robe of Lords. And Aiko is going to be on Holy duty. Freya, of course, will be on Dragon's Crest duty. And that's the party I'm going to be using. If you have anybody else, such as VV for instance, then you'll probably want to start with him casting slow, since that's going to just help you out a little bit in battle. And with Amaranth, you're probably going to want to be spamming No Mercy. But that's pretty much it in terms of preparation. The boss does cast Reflect on himself, which can cause problems for Aiko's Holy ability. If he does cast it, you can, I believe, remove it with Dispel, another Aiko ability, so just bear that in mind. But other than that, it's time to proceed and see what it is that we get. Now, to access the boss, we need to head around this kind of secret, hidden area around here until we see the field icon, and then we just click it and the battle will commence. Oops, we need to click don't leave on that. So this mysterious voice belongs to the one they call Hades, a staple of Final Fantasy lore. And we get this pretty surreal environment that we have to face Hades down in. Queener is basically going to begin by casting... oh, by the way, Body Temp is another ability that you definitely want to be using here. I can't remember if I explained that to you or not. Right, I was getting confused then. Mighty Guard is what we want. And Aiko is going on to Holy Duty. Zidane will be stealing those 4 items. And Freya we're going to get on Dragon's Crest. We are going to want to do as much damage as we can while Zidane is stealing. So Cleave is definitely one of the weaker abilities. But while we're waiting now for Zidane to steal, we're going to start casting Auto Life on our characters. Holy is not up there with some of the other abilities in the game. But for your 4th party member, wow, you know, 9,000 damage is pretty insane actually. The Running Shoes is definitely the item that we want to get. I do just want to be a little bit cautious of Reflect, which we are likely to be seeing next. So I'm not going to rush with the next Holy ability. Instead we'll get some more Dragon Crests going. And there's our second item. As long as you're prepared, this battle isn't too challenging in all honesty. Although some of the abilities the boss has are a complete nuisance. So we've got a couple more items that I would like to steal. And there we have that Reflect on the boss. We'll do another Dragon's Crest, but then I'm probably going to just be a little bit patient in terms of the damage that our party's going to output here until Zidane has nicely stolen the items that we want him to steal. We'll go ahead and Mighty Guard once more. We'll just try and keep that up as it runs off. So this boss has 55,500 hit points. So 6 maximum damage hits will take it out. And I think we've done about 4 or so now, haven't we? Maybe 5, including Aiko's Holy ability. So we'll start defending now with Freya. And there goes the Reflect ability, which is important just because you can get it to waste a turn by recasting it at the very least. Where's Auto Life gone? Oh, I'm the wrong person. Okay, with Aiko we're just going to defend for now, since we don't want to kill the boss. So as long as you're defending against Shadow, but you cannot have Shadow halved, it has to be absorbed, or it has to be completely nullified, but halving it will not protect your party enough. But we will be expecting a Doomsday any moment now. Curse is pretty nasty, so this is where we need to use Angel Snack. That will fix that problem for us quickly enough. and then we'll get Queen back on Mighty Guard duty. Mighty Guard, where have you gone? There you are. Oh, no. Ah, come on. Ah. Bit trigger happy with the controller then, but fortunately the enemy's ATB doesn't go down while you're selecting your menu options. And you just got to be patient with the steals basically. And we'll dispel this once more, for the very least, just to get this boss to waste a turn. And this time, once the sword has been, or when we see the countdown, I should say, then we should get the Doomsday, which is basically a wasted ability for this boss, because we are well protected against it. There we get the Robe of Lords. So the way it does Doomsday is it's every second countdown. So first it does Curse, which is what we used Angel Snack against, and then Doomsday, and then the next countdown it will be Curse once more. So the boss got healed, but I'm not going to hit him just yet. Although we can, I guess, just throw a Curagar on our team here. And I think there's still one more item to steal if I'm counting correctly. The battle boots, perhaps, which aren't that important. But if we want to collect everything, then it makes sense to get them. And Body Temp will protect against that ability. Freeze. So yep, still just got that one final ability, which is semi-rare, so it shouldn't take too long. And once again we'll get that Dispel on. And as you can see, we've got a nice system going now. So we would just like to get Queen healed back up with a nice Curagar spell. Although Queen is dead, did we have auto life on Queen? Apparently it's... yes we did. And Curagar will be hitting in due course nicely. Let's get a second auto life going there. That cleave, following the Judgment Sword, is pretty much the only way this boss is going to kill us if we've set up correctly. Mustard Bomb shouldn't be a problem for our team, thanks to the Body Temp ability that we have. And there we have the Battle Boots, which means it's time to finish this fellow off. And he doesn't have Reflect on at the moment, which means there's nothing to prevent us from casting Holy, although we could just also go ahead and try and finish him with a Giant Frog. Hopefully this round of attack should be enough to finish this guy. Yeah, there we go. Have a frog for your trouble. He's like, how could the frog kill me? Never underestimate the power of the frog. Get a nice batch of AP and experience as well to boot. You can synthesise 2 pumice pieces, which will give you a pumice, which is the only way for Dagger to learn her arc summon, which is the best summon in the game, no question. But the pumice pieces themselves are highly valued accessories to equip, and they are in very limited quantity, so I wouldn't particularly rush to synthesise them if I were you. One thing I would suggest as well is that you can get a pumice from the next boss that we are going to face, so another reason not to use your pumice pieces in this instance. But as you can see, there's some awesome stuff that you can craft, including the best armour in the game, which is the tin armour for Steiner there, along with some other stuff as well that you may or may not be interested in. But that's the reward for killing Hades, a new synthesis shop. The other thing you might want to care about is that the hammer needed to synthesise the tin armour is itself useless, although it is a unique item, so once you've synthesised the tin armour, that hammer is gone for good. You may care about that, you may not, who knows, but there you have it. So I'm going to finish off here for today, folks. I hope this little guide on defeating Hades has been useful to you. If it has, just let me know in the comments section, hit that like button, and then join me next time as we take on the game's ultimate creation, ultimate boss. And a little bit of a heads up as well, if you're still doing the frog catching side quest, or if you just want to power up Queena's frog drop ability, and Queen is not at max level, then it's a good opportunity to go and catch some frogs. You can actually do it before the boss as well, but they should all be nicely respawned now if you want to do such. And don't forget to check out my video guide on how to defeat Quail, which is episode 62 of this series, if you catch your 99th frog. Anyway guys, I've been your host Fuzzfinger, and I'll see you soon as we carry on with Final Fantasy IX. Very, very close to the end now, just 2 episodes remaining, so please do stick around and join me for that. Bye guys, see you soon.